All right, small boy sir here. And let's dive into something a bit, shall we say, personal. Yeah, we're talking about kids, or more accurately, the distinct lack thereof in my life. Now, before you grab your pitchforks and start chanting selfish, hear me out. I'm pushing 40 folks, 4 whole decades, and as you know from my last video, still rocking the parental pad. No tiny humans running around here. And honestly, it's a topic I feel needs a bit of, shall we say, airing out. See, in our lovely little cultural bubble, there's this expectation. You grow up, get a job, get hitched, pop out a few mini-me's, and live happily ever after. Like some kind of pre-programmed robot. But guess what? Small boy sir doesn't do pre-programmed. I prefer my life with a dash of chaos and a sprinkle of wait, what? So this isn't a lecture, trust me. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your uterus or, well, your seed. I hate being told what to do, and I figure you probably do too. But I figured maybe, just maybe, my ramblings might spark a thought or two, maybe give someone a little aha moment. Because let's face it, sometimes we feel like we're stuck on rails, like we don't have a choice. But we do. We always do. And that choice, my friends, is the most powerful thing we possess. So, where to begin? Did I always envision a kid-free existence? No, not even close. I used to dream of fatherhood, the whole shebang. I pictured 3 little rugrats, a perfect blend of mayhem and manageable, you know? Grew up with a brother, always wanted a third sibling. Seemed like a good plan. Even my wife, back in the dating days, was on board. Then life decided to throw a curveball, a big, hairy, depressing curveball. I landed my first real job, and oh boy was it a soul-crushing experience. Pure misery, folks. Sadness, anger, hopelessness, the whole emotional buffet. And to add to the fun, my wife was also navigating some rough waters. Now, I won't spill her tea because she's a private person, and I respect that. So this is mostly my side of the story, even though, let's be real, creating a human is a 2-person gig. But her choices, her values, they're just as valid as mine. We made this decision together, just for different reasons. So there I was, drowning in job-induced despair while my colleagues were knee-deep in diapers, sleep deprivation. And let me tell you, I was already operating on fumes. Every 4th night, I was basically a zombie. The thought of adding a screaming, adorable, demanding human to that mix? Nope. Just nope. My mental health was circling the drain, my physical health was a mess, and the idea of being responsible for a tiny, needy being, it felt like a recipe for disaster. So we hit pause, and then we started looking at the numbers, the cost of living, you know? It's like a bad joke. Wages haven't kept up with inflation. The inflation numbers are a lie, and the wealth gap is wider than the Grand Canyon. I know. I sound like a grumpy old man, but it's true. We've got neurosurgeons and basketball stars raking in millions, while the rest of us are scrambling to pay rent. That's a problem, a big one. And then there's the whole kid-related expenses. Daycare, forget about it. You basically need a job just to pay for a job. Public school? Great, until college. Then you're signing your soul away to student loan debt. I know doctors who are $1 million in debt. $1 million! You're not a doctor. You're a bank slave. And that, my friends, is why I'm a bit salty about the whole situation. So imagine me adding a few tiny humans to that financial mess. I'd still be stuck in that job, the one that was slowly killing me. Probably wouldn't have survived. So yeah, I'm grateful. Not just for my own well-being, but for the well-being of the hypothetical kids. If I were going to bring a kid into this world, I wanted to give them the best. A safe, loving, peaceful environment where they could thrive. And at that point, I knew I couldn't provide that. So I made a choice. And of course, the selfish card got played. Small boy, sir, you're a selfish dude. And yeah, in a way, I am. I chose my mental health, my physical health, my life. But here's the kicker. I also think it's the opposite of selfish. Because if I had a kid, I wanted to take care of them properly. And I knew back then I couldn't. So is that selfish? Or is that responsible? Is that looking out for a person that does not exist yet? And let's talk about the big picture. We've got 8.18 billion people on this planet. And according to scientists, We've overshot the Earth's carrying capacity. We're consuming way more than we should. And let's face it, some of us, cough billionaires, cough, are consuming way more than others. We're eating this planet alive. Wildlife populations have plummeted 70% in the last 20 years. We've cleared forests the size of 60% of the continental US. And for what? To grow food? To raise animals? To feed our ever-growing population? One. Earth exponentially increasing humans, that's not a sustainable equation. So if I really truly wanted to be a father, I wouldn't create another human. I'd take care of one who already exists. Adoption, fostering, there are options. They come with their own challenges, of course. Trauma, abandonment, but it's a choice. So there you have it, folks. My rambling, slightly sarcastic, but hopefully insightful, take on why Small Boy Sir is kid-free. It's not about hating kids. It's about being responsible, about making a choice that feels right for me, for the planet, and yes, even for the hypothetical tiny humans who might have been. And hey, if you disagree, that's cool. We all have our own paths. Just remember, you have a choice, always. And that, my friends, is the most powerful thing you'll ever own. Alright, so where do we go from here? You've heard my, shall we say, unique perspective on the whole kid thing. And look, I get it. This isn't exactly a feel-good sunshine and rainbows topic. It's a bit heavy. It's about choices, about responsibility, about the weight of the world, literally. But if there's one thing I hope you take away from this rambling monologue, it's this. Think. Just think. Think about your choices. Think about the impact those choices have, not just on you, but on the world around you. Think about what you truly want, not what society tells you you should want. We're so often caught in this whirlwind of expectations, this relentless pressure to conform. Get married, have kids, buy a house, climb the corporate ladder, rinse and repeat. But what if you just stopped? What if you took a moment to breathe, to look around, to ask yourself, is this really what I want? Because let's be real, life isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. We're all different, with different dreams, different values, different paths. And that's okay. It's more than okay. It's beautiful. It's what makes us human. So, don't be afraid to question the status quo. Don't be afraid to go against the grain. Don't be afraid to be you. And yeah, sometimes that means making unconventional choices. Sometimes that means saying no to things that everyone else seems to be saying yes to. And sometimes that means admitting that you don't have all the answers. But you know what? That's okay too. Because the truth is none of us have all the answers. We're all just stumbling through this crazy thing called life, trying to figure it out as we go. And that's where the real magic happens. In the messy, imperfect, beautifully chaotic process of discovering who we are and what we want. So embrace your weirdness, embrace your quirks, embrace your individuality, and most importantly, embrace your right to choose. Because at the end of the day, that's all we really have. Our choices. They define us, they shape us, they determine the course of our lives. And yeah, sometimes those choices are hard, sometimes they're painful, sometimes they're even a little bit selfish. But as long as you're making them with intention, with honesty, with a genuine desire to live a life that feels authentic to you, then you're on the right track. And look, I'm not saying everyone should ditch the whole kid thing. Far from it. Parenting is an incredible, beautiful, life-changing experience. But it's also a huge responsibility, a massive commitment, and it's not for everyone. And that's okay. It's okay to choose a different path. It's okay to prioritize your own well-being. It's okay to say, this isn't for me. And if you're feeling pressured, if you're feeling like you're being pushed into a decision you're not ready for, then take a step back, breathe, and remember, you have a choice. You always have a choice. And your choice is valid. Your feelings are valid. Your life is valid. So live it on your own terms. And hey, if you're looking for more stories like this, more ramblings from your friendly neighborhood small boy, sir, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. Because trust me, there's plenty more where this came from. We'll explore more of life's little oddities, we'll dive into more of society's unspoken truths, and we'll have a few laughs along the way. And who knows, maybe we'll even figure out this whole being human thing together. But until then, stay curious, stay open-minded, and stay, well, you. And remember, you're not alone. There are others out there like me who are questioning the norm, who are choosing their own path, who are embracing the beautiful chaos of life. And together, we can create a world where everyone feels free to be themselves, to make their own choices, and to live a life that feels truly authentic. So thank you for listening, thank you for being here, and thank you for being you. Small Boy Sir, signing off.